Oh, okay, 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 okay! Okay! Ah! There's two of them! He's got a knife! Ah! 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 God fucking damn it! Ah!
You're watching good.
You're watching good for the fears.
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. I went and gathered my stuff real quick, so not that I have a lot. I honestly thought I had completed my iron armor, but I guess I didn't, so you know, don't really have much going on, but I think that's kind of the goal. Want to try to at least get ironed up. We're on episode 3, and I feel like I've done nothing. So forgive me. I'm a little rusty, you know? But I want to go to this cave that we were in very briefly and see if I can at least get some iron armor. I'd like to find some diamonds, but at the very least, I'd like to get a bucket, because my goal for today... All right, we're going to set a goal. That's not like us. But our goal for today is to make it to the Nether. Everyone's been commenting about all the changes in the Nether, and I think I've seen some of those. Like, I was still playing. I was mostly streaming, so some of you probably didn't know I was playing. But I was still playing when they did the Nether update. So, like, I've seen some things that have been added to the game. Since the big Nether update, like the different biomes and stuff. I haven't seen the happy ghasts. That's one thing I haven't seen. So that's on my list of things to see. But I think before any of that, I should probably get, at the very least, a full set of iron armor. But yeah, if I can't find any diamonds pretty quickly, I'll probably just make a bucket and use that to make a Nether portal. So how's everyone been? Sorry for the... I mean, I did say when I started this, you're going to be disappointed. That, you know, don't expect an episode every day or anything. But I did expect to make episodes more quickly than in between... I hear him. In between episode 2 and 3 here. But it's summertime right now. In the city. I don't live in a city. And... My throat's got a frog in it. Didn't they add frogs to this game, actually? Maybe that's what happened. Jesus Christ. What was I saying? Oh, summertime. And my daughter wanted to go to D.C. And see some sights and various things in D.C. She's real political. Now it's either the worst time or the best time to be political, I suppose. She has big aspirations, though, for a political career in her future. She's 13 now, and she's mapped out what all she has to do in school. Like, I mean, who knows if... I mean, we've all been young and thought we were going to do this or that or the other, and sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. I can only be there to support her and hope that everything she wishes to come true can come true for her. But that's about all a parent can do, I suppose. I mean, obviously give them the support they need to do those things, but... I'm also not someone to be like, oh, you're absolutely going to be president one day. I mean, she wants to be, and I hope she is. That'd be great. Especially from what I've seen from the last few years in nepotism. That'd be great for me. No, I don't think she would abuse her political power. I'm not fortunate enough to. She probably had me deported. But yeah, we went to DC, stayed with Jeff, got to hang out with Jeff. We're going back in October, actually. We try to do it every year in October. It's actually around Jeff's birthday, not because of Jeff's birthday, not that I don't love Jeff and wish him a very happy new day of birth. New day of birth? Is every day a new day of birth? I guess so, right? Anyways, we go for a beer festival called Snallygaster, and I've actually ran into, you may be watching now, I ran into a few fans at Snallygaster in the past, so that's always fun. Oh, you know, I didn't make another one of those before I came down here. Yeah, anyways, we had a good time in DC, and I don't know, based on like the the National Guard being deployed there, etc. Now, glad we went when we did. Seems like it could have been a worse trip based on timing. But school starts back early here this year. They changed the school schedule around, and so school starts back. Today is August the 11th, and school starts back the 13th. Tonight's actually open house. So, oh wait, I wanted to make this guy. This guy. Hello, guys. But yeah, the DC trip was fun. Enjoyed getting to hang out with Jeff and Julia and his kids. His kids are getting much bigger. We went and saw all the average things. We went. She really wanted to go to the Holocaust Museum. We went there and did that. It's very. It's got a lot of similarities to today's time and place. But maybe I shouldn't have made that and then focused on armor. But I figure if I do come across diamonds, I'm going to need that to get them, right? But yeah, when I got there, we drove to DC, and I had planned on just driving everywhere we went, which wasn't, my favorite activity in DC, because that place is one hell of a place to drive in. It's the best way I know to put it. In terms of all the places I've ever driven in my life, I think the only place that I hated driving more than DC was New York City. And I wasn't even in like city proper. Chitty chitty bang bang. Sound like what I was going for there. But that's whenever I drove up to Massachusetts, and like you have to kind of go through DC after you get out of New Jersey, which that whole trip was wild. I don't know if I've ever talked about that in a YouTube video. But I've definitely talked about it on stream. And man, just to quickly recap it, I was driving up. This was towards the end of COVID, and I had met Jess, my now wife, and we had been chatting. We didn't meet on a dating site or anything like that. It was kind of just random as hell the way we met. It was election night. I had just pulled what ended up being a dead woman out of a car. And that's not really related to the story, but I was in the midst of a panic attack, kind of. I thought I was okay after all this happened. I've told this story too. Maybe it was on stream, maybe it was in a video, but make that story short. I was coming home from dropping my daughter off with her mom. This is back whenever we traded more often than we do now. And I had stopped and got barbecue for me and my grandma. So my grandma was still alive. And when I was coming out of town, this person actually cut me off turning, and kind of glad they did because it distanced myself from what would happen next. But a few miles down the road, a woman coming towards me, basically. If my shield was up, son. Not today, thank you. Coming towards me, went into the other lane, and ran smack dab into a truck coming the other way. It wasn't the person that had cut me off. They were the next car in the line. They didn't stop, but I stopped, and I don't know if that was the right thing to do. I mean, I get it's the right thing to do on paper, right? But it affected me pretty badly. Like the car was smashed, and this woman in the driver's seat was bleeding profusely out of her head. But, they say head injuries. I mean, I'm not a doctor. If Jeff was there, he would have told her to drink more water. That's a meme. If you don't know it, well, sorry. But another person pulled up and stopped. And the guy that was coming the other direction had also stopped. And the truck that she hit was on its side in the ditch, like on the other side of the road. And that guy was conscious, and the person that was talking to him was calling 911, and he was like telling him he's conscious, and the guy was like, I don't know, that person just came in the lane, and like we all saw it, so like there wasn't a question, like we knew what had happened. Oh my god, okay, where'd you come from? Oh, we're in a hole together. So the woman that had ran up to the car I was at with the woman bleeding was like checking her pulse, and she's like, okay, she's got a pulse, and she was like, we should get her out of the car, and the door was smashing away. It would not open, right? And I'm like, I don't think we should move her. I mean, I don't. Again, I'm not a medical professional, but I feel like I've seen at least on like some television show, you don't move the victims, right? Like, what if she has a back injury, etc. And I said that, and she's like, "Why no CPR?" And I'm like, "Well, she's breathing, so like, what do you just want to kiss her?" I didn't say that, and then she didn't have a pulse anymore and stopped breathing. And so the people on the phone with 911 said to try to remove her from the car and start CPR. So we did, with a lot of struggle. Getting someone that is basically dead weight out of a car. Oh, that's a bad joke. It wasn't meant to be a joke, but anyways, they're not helping you get them out of a vehicle. And they're also bleeding profusely. And so I just remember it being like sticky and wet is the best way I know to describe it. And so we pull her out, and this woman starts CPR. And it takes the ambulance like what felt like 10 years, but in reality it was probably like 10 minutes tops to get there, and the woman had not regained consciousness or started breathing in this time. And so once the ambulance and stuff arrived, I'm like, do I need to stay as a witness or anything? And they're like, no, there's plenty of people here, you're fine to go. And so I was just kind of like, I want away, I want to be free, I want to break free. So I left. That was it for me. And I came home, and I was just covered. I was just covered in blood. And so I went home. I had the barbecue that I'd bought for me and my grandma. And I took a shower and changed clothes, etc. Threw away my clothes. And then, like, came up here, technically, because I record at what used to be my grandmother's house. And I tell her what happened. And she was, like, so nonchalant about it. She was like, she'll probably be fine. Nothing for you to worry about. And I'm like, I was like shaking. Like I had not recovered yet. But then like, you know, we ate and we talked a bit, and I got to feeling better. And I thought like, all right, I've seen plenty of people die. I've, you know, helped with lots of people in hospice. And so like, I'm like, you know, I guess I was equipped for this. I was prepared. I was not. This was the year of the 2020 election. And so I go home. And it's in November because it was the election night. And I'm talking shit on Twitter about Trump. And so is Jess. I don't know her yet, right? Don't know her at all. But, and it, just by happenstance, she had gotten banned on Twitter with her main account. And she was using an old account, which used to follow some Twitch streamers. Not me, but other people. And I got recommended to her because of who she followed. And we just started kind of joking back and forth, just not in like DMs or anything, just, you know, whatever. And it kind of just went from there. But we kind of stopped talking because like later on in the night, I thought I was dying. I don't think I've ever had a panic attack before this time, but that's the only thing that this could have been. Because like I felt like my entire body was clammy. Like I felt like everything was just going gray around me. Like I was like shaking. I took my blood pressure, and I feel like I must have done it wrong because those numbers made no sense at all. And I ended up like passing out on the couch. But then the next day, I posted a stupid joke about an auto blow. Pyro used to always joke about auto blows, and so something came to my mind like I'm gonna buy an auto blow to see if it sucks, because like that's what it does, right? But I posted this on Twitter, and then Jess changes her name to Auto Blow and starts messaging me. She's like, "Hi." So then we went to the DMs. But that's how we met, and this is why I was going to Massachusetts, because we talked for a bit from that point, pretty much every day for quite a while. And then it rolls around to Thanksgiving, and we have not met. We've like FaceTimed and stuff. In fact, the first time we FaceTimed, I'm like, listen, if we're gonna keep talking, I gotta hear your voice. Like, I don't want to be shallow or anything, but like, I don't know, like that's like a part of it, right? If you sound like, I don't know, like certain voices are just a turn off, right? Like, it's just, I don't know, probably makes me sound like an asshole. But so we had FaceTime and stuff. But I'm like, if we're gonna keep doing whatever it is we're doing here, because, you know, we hadn't put a label on it or anything. We're just two people chatting on the internet. Like, we need to meet in person. And so Thanksgiving, this time it was still COVID time, so to speak. And my daughter was coming to my house every day for school, even when it wasn't my weeks. So I didn't have really any time when my daughter wasn't at my house. The most I had was like a weekend here and there, right? And I should stop here and make my armor because I have enough iron now for it. So I planned around Thanksgiving. It was my year to have my daughter for Thanksgiving, and then she was supposed to go to her mom's for like 4 days after that, right? And so I cooked Thanksgiving dinner. I had it at my grandma's house with like my Aunt Polly and my grandma and my daughter. I think that was all that was there that year. But we had Thanksgiving dinner. I rushed home afterwards, threw everything in the refrigerator or whatnot. Didn't even wash the dishes from cooking Thanksgiving or anything, right? Just like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Just like, all right, I gotta go. Gotta hit the road, going to Massachusetts. And I wanted to do it all in one day, but I was also like, if I get tired, I'll stop. And I told Jess this, and she didn't believe I was coming, for what it's worth. She didn't tell me this, but I found out later that she was like, yeah, okay, you're on the way here. I believe you. So I set out, and this is a long story to just tell one little portion of driving in the city. But whenever I got to the edge of New Jersey, so I hadn't got on the turnpike yet. I didn't know at this point in my life. I guess I'd never been on a turnpike before. I didn't know the word turnpike basically meant toll road. I'd never really driven up north before. This was my first time driving that far north. Like I had gone to New York State before, but I actually wasn't the one driving. So this was my first experience with all this. And I got to the border there, about to get on the turnpike, and I stopped at a gas station and like texted Jess a bit, and she's like, here's where I'm at. And again, she's like, yeah, sure you are. She didn't say that to me again, but apparently that's what she thought. I was like, well, I'm not that tired. I guess I'll get on the turnpike for a bit, because my direction said like the next stop or the next change in direction was like 30 miles. And I was like, I could at least do 30 more miles, and then I'll see what's around and stop then, I guess. Well, 30 miles later, so I'm on this toll road, and what I didn't know then also was that during COVID, they had suspended payments on that toll road. So there wasn't even a requirement to pay the toll. But I'm also used to like most tolls, unless you have like one of the, like the toll road passes, like an easy pass or whatever, that you pay in cash, like at certain checkpoints. And so once I realized I was on a toll road, that was my expectation, that like, okay, I'll be paying certain amounts of money at certain intervals or whatever. Well, that's not the case, at least on the turnpike. I think you might pay when you get off, but I think it's all just automated online. I never found out because I never had to pay because of COVID. And also, like after those 30 miles, it was like, now continue for another 80 miles or whatever. I don't remember the number, but I was like, oh shit. So I'm still on this road. And I was like scared to get off because they were still handing out like the tickets at the start of the turnpike. So I had got like a ticket for my toll, but I was like, okay, I don't know when this is going to come into play. I didn't mean to do that yet. And so I decided I just wouldn't get off the turnpike. I'm just going to do this part of the travel, and then I'll figure it out. Well, little known to me, I now know, the next part of the journey is you're now in New York, and not only are you in New York, but the speed limit is like 35 or something, but everyone is expecting you to be going 70, and I'm not prepared. And it was kind of late at night, thank God, so it wasn't that bad in terms of like, there's so much coal here, in terms of traffic, but there was more than I needed. So that was stressful as hell. But I made it to Connecticut. Pretty sure Connecticut was the next one on the list. And then I passed out. I was like, okay, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. So I slept in Connecticut overnight. Finished the trip to Massachusetts in the morning, got to the Airbnb, took a shower, and then went and picked up Jess, and the rest is history. Funny enough, she wasn't supposed to come home with me after this trip up there. We were supposed to just hang out and get to know each other a bit better in person, and then see what goes from there, take it to the next step. But after a few days of hanging out, we weren't done hanging out. basically, is the best way I know to put it. We still wanted to spend more time together. And she's like, well, I could come back with you for a little while. Which probably is crazy on her part because she'd only known me in person for like 4 or 5 days at this point. But I was like, okay, let's do it. Fuck it. Did I make a bucket? I meant to make a bucket. I don't think I made a bucket. So she comes back with me. And remember the part where I said I didn't clean up anything before? So we get home, and I had kind of forgot, honestly, that my house was a wreck from making Thanksgiving dinner. So that was her first impression of my home, was just dirty dishes everywhere. I had recently set up the Christmas tree, because that was always our tradition to set up the Christmas tree on Thanksgiving Day. And so in the living room, I had like a desk where I like did like my Lego stuff. I would stream from there sometimes, but I also had like a second desk just for my own personal Lego time. And these things were just kind of thrown in the middle of the dining room because they were in the way of the Christmas tree. So everything was just the biggest nightmare you've ever seen. So it's probably the worst first impression you can get of someone's house, but I guess if you can deal with that, you can deal with anything. But so yeah. Anyways, that's my New York driving story. It was worse coming back because it was like during the day and like people were just honking at everything. I think they just honk to like it's like some kind of language I don't know or speak or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of city driving, honestly. But anyways, I don't know how long I've been recording. The last few episodes, it was easy to know when to end the episode because I just died. But I'm not going to do that today. I got armor. I'm more prepared. I'm ready to go. I want to find diamonds really bad so I can just make another portal outright. But if I don't, then the moment I find lava, we're going to do it. But while we're getting everything together, I have a kind of a story, I guess, to tell you. Okay, it doesn't go down further. So if you followed my streams in the last few years, you know I had this rental property that I bought forever ago. A hoarder lived there, and then it got fixed up, and then I rented it for a while, and then we rented it to some other friends of Jess's from college, Katie and Emery, and then they ended up getting a house, and so they moved out because they bought their own place, and then we let Jess's friend Faith move in, and she never paid rent. Not by design, but it just didn't work out. And in the end, I'd had to evict her. It was a mess. Caused a lot of turmoil between me and Jess because she felt like she was responsible for bringing this person into our lives. And I felt like, hey, you did bring this person into our lives, so maybe you should be the one to tell her to get out. But she didn't want to do that to her friend. And it's just like, she's killing us. Like, to some degree, we do rely on this rent money. I'm not a slumlord, but I'm also not able to just let someone live in my house rent free. So she lived here for like 15 months rent free, and then eventually I was just like, okay, I'm sorry, Faith, but you got to go. Which sucks because she had 2 kids, and like whenever she first moved down here, she moved down with her baby daddy, and then that didn't work out, and so Jess was helping take care of the kids. So like I don't know, we felt bad, but we just didn't have a choice. It had to be what it was. Funny enough, though, every time. All right. Well, every time this transition happens of someone living there, we're able to take some time to fix up the place a bit more. So the place has gotten pretty nice over the years. Like we had a problem where we needed a new roof, and once that got replaced, the kitchen had like leaked really bad, and we weren't able to afford to fix that right away. I saw that creeper down there, in case you're wondering. So I'm going this way first. But once Canary moved out, I had found someone that was able to fix that. There was this window problem where like there was some panes in the ass, that were broken, and like we had like closed them up, but we hadn't like fully fixed it. And so we got a quote to see like how much would it cost to get new windows, because it's a pretty old house. It was built in the 40s, I think. So it's a pretty old house. There's so many creepers, and we wanted to just get new windows, but that quote was like $4,000, and I was like, that's insane. How much could windows cost? And so we're like, okay, well, how much would it be just to replace the panes? It was like $3,000, and we're like, I don't even understand how that makes any sense. but what's funny is we end up. This was after I lived in the woods for a while, and so I'd made it out of the woods after 99 days, and there was no one living there. This is after Kate and Emery lived there, but before Faith moved in, and we went down to Lowe's because I knew that they cut glass there. So I measured the panes myself, got the glass cut at Lowe's, and all in all, it cost like, with the caulk and everything, it cost like $20 to fix it. So I fixed that myself. But yeah, anyways, every time someone comes and goes, it gets slightly better. One thing that happened while Katie and Emery were living there was there was a problem with some septic. Well, not septics per se. Basically, I was really hoping down here would be the diamonds. Oh, I guess it goes... Okay. This is where the diamonds are at. I can smell them. I can smell the damn creepers. What do you think a creeper smells like? So Katie had called us up and was like, this is when I was still in the woods too. And so she's like, the sink in the kitchen's not been draining, and I'm going to fix it. And we're like, well, just let us call a plumber. Like, don't try to do too much by yourself. Like, it might be more, because she was like going to get like an industrial snake, hiss, and try to fix it that way. And we're like, just let us call a plumber. So plumber comes out again. I'm in the woods. I wish I had just left the woods for a day to go look at this whole thing myself, because long story short, it took multiple people coming out. The plumbers came out, which I don't use these plumbers anymore. They've been permanently fired. But the plumbers come out, and they're like, okay, you need to call a septic tank company, because it took multiple days of plumbers coming out too. They were like, I don't know where this drain's going, and we can't find it. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't find it? Which I know the owner of this plumbing company, because I had been using this company for years and years, and then the original owner died, and his daughter inherited it, and that's kind of when this whole company went to shit. And I don't know if it's her fault or what. Maybe he had a better control over the employees. Apparently, a lot of the early on employees left. Whatever. Why did that just light up over there? What's going on over there? Oh, it's probably redstone, right? The mobs trigger redstone when they step on it. There's so many things. Switching to. I thought I was switching to a bow that I don't have. Okay, hey, keep coming. What are you doing? Where are you going? We weren't done talking. Oh, you're so far away. Okay, this is gonna get interesting. Do it. So I called a septic tank company out, which they charge $100 to even come out, right? So $100 down, and they're like, that's not even a septic tank. Again, if I had gone over there and looked at this myself, I would have figured this all out very quickly. I don't know why the plumbers didn't, but back in the day, before lots of regulations and stuff, they used to just dump gray water into a ditch, into like a gravel pit, basically. And that's what was going on here. There was a gravel pit that gray water was being dumped into. I gotta go because there's too many things coming, and I gotta eat and reassess my life. All right, bitch. Let's do it. Hey, you first. And in a situation like this, a plumber can't fix this because it's no longer up to code, but you are allowed to keep that yourself if you want to fix it. But I was like, I just want to get this correct. So let's reroute this to the septic tank. Because we live in the country, so it's not a sewer situation out here. We dump our shit in a giant clay pit, concrete enclosure. There's so many guys. I wish I had a bow. This is my like safety point. I think this is going to be a two-part story, because I haven't even gotten to the part I wanted to tell you about, which is the current tenants that are living there and what's happened since that time. But this is all important lead up to that. Oh my god, it's so many things. Okay. I hear another zombie. Where is he at? So the plumbers are like, well, you should call a septic tank specialist if we're going to reroute this, because that's something more they would do. So I call out this specialist. This whole thing, in the end, by the way, cost like $13,000 when it was all said and done. what started off as the drain in the kitchen is not going out correctly turned into life savings time. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Okay, not gonna die, not gonna die, not gonna die, not gonna die, not gonna die. That's my anthem. So what ends up happening is the septic tank behind the house apparently had broken at some point. And this is a building, this house also has a brick building next door that used to be a gas station. And so I own both of them. When I bought them years and years and years ago, the plan was actually to turn the brick building that used to be a gas station into like a recording studio where I could record, maybe even host the marathons. It would have been a tight fit, but we wouldn't have been able to sleep there. But it would have been a spot where we could all gather to do UHCs and all that other stuff that we do in one room together. Anyways, the septic tank specialist, he finds the septic tank, tells me I'm gonna have to crush and fill that because it's no longer in use, and because it's apparently in North Carolina it's a $10,000 fine if you have a septic tank like this. It's just not in use. It hasn't been crushed and filled. I might die. I said I wasn't gonna die, and that was my anthem, but I might just do it, just out of spite. Okay, I didn't die. There's so many zombies, dude. So this septic tank guy gives me a quote, and I don't even remember what the amount was now. I just know what the final amount after the plumbers and everything was involved ended up being. But gives me a quote and says that he can reroute the gray water stuff, so which is just the laundry room and the kitchen. He can reroute it to the septic tank that is now currently in use, which used to be the oh my god, did I look at him? I don't think I did. Used to be the gas station septic tank, and we can go from there. And so I guess I was still living in the woods. I guess I had taken a day off because I went back to the woods after I talked to this man. I'm just running for my life, trying to light it up more so things maybe will stop spawning so rapidly. He ends up, after a few days, because we had to wait for like 888 or whatever it is that comes out and like marks where there's power lines and buried everything's. We had to wait for them to come out and do that before he could do anything. So once they were done doing that, he started doing this thing. And Katie had bought a fence to fence in the backyard whenever they moved in. And so he had been like, well, you have to move this so that I can get in. So we did that, as he said. He ended up destroying the fence completely with his backhoe, even though we had moved it and given him ample room, removed all the sections he said needed to be removed. She had also put down a bunch of pavers and like fixed up the backyard. He destroyed all those with his backhoe, just ran them over and crushed them completely. I've done it. I knew I could do it. Now I gotta find obsidian next. If there's 3 here, that is. Oh, come on, you can be 3. Be 3. Be 3. They're not 3. There's not 3. Christ almighty. So, he ends up not doing what he said. He claimed that there was too many roots to dig to connect the two things together. He just didn't do it. He claimed that the septic tank, the one that was in use, was cracked. Whether or not that's true, who knows? But he basically said that the price went up for like $500 or $600 more than what he originally said. Is this what I think it is? What is this? Minecraft Trials Edition? What's going on? What have I found? Hello? It's nothing. What is this? I thought it was like the end stronghold thing, but I'm just digging and not getting into anything. guess. It seems to go up. So I still end up having to get plumbers out there to actually connect the stuff over to the new septic tank. So all he did was like apparently fix the septic tank. Oh, this is the new things I haven't seen. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. Okay, everyone's mad in there. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna go in there just yet. Let's peek around, see if I can find some more diamonds real quick. I just want to get a pick, you know. So yeah, long story short, it eventually did get fixed. They did connect the two things together, but it took multiple people, multiple plumbers, multiple things to make this happen, and cost me an arm and a leg. But it did get fixed. So let's flash forward to a few months ago. After we evicted Faith, we spent a little bit of time working on the house, fixing up. Not a lot, but, you know, just doing, you know, painting over the wall sockets with white paint. Not really. But you know, we did a little bit of upkeep. And then we made a for rent sign, and we put it in the yard. And literally while we were still standing in the yard, someone pulled up and was like, I would like to rent it. They ended up not being the person to rent it because I gave them my number, and I'm like, all right, well, call me. We'll work everything out. And they didn't end up calling. I don't know what happened. But so we went back. Like I told them, I was like, all right, I'll give you a week. And if I don't hear from you in a week, I'm going to put the sign back up. So they didn't hear from them in a week. So I put the sign back up, and literally the same thing happened. We put the sign up, and we're still staying in the yard. We were looking at like some of the stuff like Faith kind of left behind. We were like, there was like some of like her kids' like jungle gyms and stuff like that, and we're like, well, we gotta get rid of this stuff. And so we were trying to like move some of these things and like figure out what we were gonna do with them. We don't have a truck, so and in that time we were probably there 10 minutes. Someone pulled up again and was like, I would like to rent it, and they're the people that are currently living there. So yeah, it doesn't take long to rent this place. Apparently, I don't know what everyone's agenda is in terms of like moving in so quickly around here. I didn't think there was a shortage in houses, and we've raised the rent a few times to try to keep up with what everyone else is charging. So like originally years ago when I first rented it, it was like $600 a month, and now it's up to like $1,200 a month. So yeah, you know, rent has gone up a lot in this area. They've built so many houses around here in the last few years, and so it's just this area is growing so quickly, I guess. Because we're still charging less than what most are for their rent. Oh, if I could just find a diamond right here, this would be perfect because I got my lava. Oh, okay. Dude, I've gone so deep into the ground. So these plumbers that I complained about a minute ago, whenever they connected, those two things together from the kitchen and the laundry room into the septic tank, apparently they didn't do a very good job of it. And did not know this, right? Thought everything was good. Again, I've been using these plumbers for a while, and like there had been some problems. They came out and did something in my kitchen and like didn't connect it correctly, and the whole pipe just fell apart. Had to come back out and fix it. But God, I just don't know where to go. So many directions I can go, you know? It's kind of overwhelming. But I get a call from the new tenants, and they're like, hey, we got a leak under our house. And I'm like, oh no. There's always something. I hate that I was trying to buy the brick building, right? For an office space. The house just kind of came with it. There was a hoarder living there at the time. The house was in disarray. I didn't know what I'd ever do with it, to be honest, but it was kind of a package deal. And so this is how I end up with this house to begin with. Oh, look, there's that thing again. You think there's diamonds in there? There might be, though, right? I'm just kind of scared to go in there. And so I go over to see what's what with this leak that they found, and it's worse than anything you could imagine. Because whenever the plumbers ran the pipe from the kitchen and laundry room into the existing stuff, they connected it where the toilet is at currently, right? And the bathroom, that's normally where the toilet's at. And okay, I don't know. Okay, I didn't succeed, and you're spawning at a rapid pace. Oh my god. Oh, and I'm hungry. Oh, and they're hitting me hard, brother. Oh, they give slowness. That's why I couldn't break that quick enough. Lordy mercy. And so the pipe where they connected it had come loose. And that meant whenever you flush the toilet, it all goes under the house. And from the looks of things, this had been going on for not the shortest periods of time. Okay, there you go. Fight it out. Hate each other. Well, okay. I have to go up there, I guess. Okay. I don't know if slowness affects your mining speed, though, so I don't know if I was prevented from breaking that because of them. Okay, I got slowness again. Oh, they're hitting me from multiple sides. Okay, that one's got an enchanted bow. Okay, here we go again. Run away. So it was not good. It was not good. It stunk bad. It was just bad. Everything was bad. Everything was awful. And so I called the plumbers, the ones that had done the original work, because it had only been a few months, and they claim to have a year warranty on everything they do. This company sucks at answering their phone. Luckily, I had gotten the phone number of one of the guys that had done some of our work. And so I just called him directly, and he was like, I can come out and look at it today. So he did. He came out and checked it out for me, and he's like, yeah, that's a mess. He's like, I do remember us doing the work. The crawl space on this house is tiny. Can you not break these? I don't think you can. Okay. I just want a chest. There's clay pots everywhere. Do you think they got diamonds in them? Oh, they have things in them. Wait, are you dispensing things now? I don't know what that does. I don't know anything about this game anymore. What are you? Potion of swiftness. Okay. I can't believe you could just break into this place, though. I thought it would be more of like, you have a certain place to enter and stuff. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to have to call the boss and get him out here, and like, we'll have to figure something out. And it was like, oh, that's a block of diamond. Oh, I got a bow, dude. Okay, I got multiple bows, but we can get rid of these. Okay, let's go make another portal. We can come back to this place another time, but I want to get the Nether portal this episode. It was my goal. It's my agenda. I'm going to stick to my word and my goals and my agendas. I don't remember how I got here. I think it was this way, to be honest, but I don't really know. They ended up in the long run refusing to repair it. They claimed that this was not pipe they put there. Meanwhile, there wasn't even pipe that went from that side of the house to this side of the house, right? It did not exist because there wasn't... That was their whole job the time before. Like, that's the whole thing they did, right? That was it. That was what they did. Don't know how else to say it. So it was really frustrating for them to just be like, nah, it wasn't me. It was like the damn... what the hell's that song? caught me red-handed, sleeping with the girl next door. That it wasn't me. Ba-da-na-na-na. So I call out another plumber because I mean it's got to get fixed. They don't have we had to turn the water off at the street because whenever the pipe broke and it fell on another pipe. I need to get a flint to make a flint steel here. It fell on another pipe, bust that, and so water was also spewing under the house. On top of the fact that there was a pile of sewage underneath the house. So call a different plumber, and they come out, and they're like, "That's gross." And I'm like, "Yeah, you were told on the phone before you came that it's not good. It's gross. We are aware. We seen the shit and smell the shit too." They're like, "Well, you're gonna need a restoration company," and I'm like, "Your website said you were a restoration company," and they're like, "Well, we contract out restoration companies," and it's like, "Well, that's kind of misleading, but okay." And so he's like, "Well, I'll have someone get in touch," and so like this was a Friday, I think, and no one got in touch that day because this was early in the morning too when he got there, and so like I called them and they were like, "Oh yeah, someone's definitely gonna call you today." I did it. They didn't call me. No one called me that day. So I called a different company. Same sort of situation where I'm like, "You are a restoration company as well, right? Like, here's the situation." And they're like, "Absolutely, we can take care of it." And this was on a Saturday at this point, right? And so it was an emergency service. And so they're like, "It's $100 for Steven to come out, and that money does not go towards whatever it's going to cost in the long run to fix it. So like, just so you're aware, this is the situation." And so I'm like, okay. And sorry, I got sidetracked here in my brain. So this guy comes out, and he's an older guy. And the first thing I noticed is he doesn't have like a jumpsuit or anything to like put on to get into the shit. And I'm a little confused by this. I don't know what to do with that. I'm just not going to get rid of it yet because I don't know if I ever need that. But I'm like, okay, well, the man doesn't have a jumpsuit, but he's about to get in the shit. That's wild. And I'd put down some plastic in there, some black plastic, but it wasn't. I mean, it was still obvious. This ain't it. It ain't good. So he crawls under there just barely, like gets his arm, and it's a tiny crawl space. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a tiny crawl space. I know this. Anyone that's ever been in there knows this. It's not great. I can barely fit under there, and that's after I've lost all my weight from living in the woods and stuff. But he gets bit by an ant, right? And he crawls out, and it's like you would think a snake bit him or something, the way he's acting about this ant situation. And he's like, "It's infested with ants." And I'm like looking under there, and I'm like, "I don't see any other ants." And he's like, "I guarantee you where there's one, there's thousands." And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I don't see them." He's like, "Well, listen, it's a health hazard. I can't fix it." And I'm like, "Okay, but your company definitely said you're a restoration company as well, and you're an emergency service. So like you got it though, even though like you can't fix it. Like the people with the magic wand is on the way or something, right?" And he's like, "Absolutely not." He's like, "The state of this thing, there's nothing I can do." He's like, "The ants, the smell." He's like, "There's probably toxic gas." And I'm like, "Well, there's a second crawl space entrance. Like, I could set up some cross ventilation. I have like an industrial fan. We could have some ventilation going the other way. We could put down a couple more layers of plastic, cover the whole bottom of the underneath of the house, maybe." And he's like, couldn't be done." And so I'm just like, okay. And so I call this guy's like, again, he also had my restoration company will be in touch with you shortly. And that did not happen. I mean, I'm sure you're all shocked that this did not happen. And so at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm not calling another plumber until I figure out something that makes this a little bit better. And I tried to get under there a little bit, but man, I'll be honest, I got the weakest stomach you've ever seen with stuff like this. I can't cut it. And so I was literally gonna vomit. I would have just made the matter worse if I tried to get under there. So I went to Home Depot and I bought a huge roll of black plastic because the previous black plastic I'd put down was there from the original plumbers, the ones that caused this whole mess. And so I go back, and this is gonna be a long episode, but we're going to the damn Nether. So I go back and I get the tenant's son out there. He's a younger guy. He's probably in his 20s or something like that. But he's the skinniest man I've ever seen. And I'm like, listen, here's the deal. If I get this, I called him actually first. But I was like, if I get this plastic, do you think you could get under there and cover everything? And let's get that fan blowing. See what we can do. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I can do it. I got it. Because at this point, they had also been without water for, I don't even know, like a week almost. It'd been a minute. Luckily, there's a gas station next door, so they were going to the gas station to use the bathroom. But still, not ideal, right? So I get there with the black plastic, and the man of his word, he gets under there, and it's rough. I mean, we're talking rough. But he gets under there, and he covers everything in plastic, like he said he would do. We get the fan going. I call it the next plumber. They come out, and it takes him a whole day. But he fixes it all. Cost me like $5,000 total, all said and done. But it's fixed. Whether or not I'll ever turn a profit on this rental property, I don't know. It's one of the few things that helps us pay our bills, but whenever there's things like this happens, it certainly doesn't. Anyways, that's the story of the shit house that I rent. And it's a shit house in more than one way. But anyways, let's go in here and let's see what's on the other side. Oh my God!